What up, guys? What up? What up? Just waiting on Jawan, Chop. Gonna get Coach Eddie Alford from Miami Northwestern on tonight. He's got some things he wants to get off his chest. We are going to speak about the big games that are coming up this weekend. Huge weekend of high school football. It's a fun slate this Tuesday night, so we're going to get it popping. What up, everybody? What up? What up? What up? What up? My boy Denzel, ballin', sophomore year. Let's get it going. Let's get it going. Yo, yo, yo. What's good, my boy? What's good? What's good? Oh, we're starting off hot. We're starting off hot. Look at that. Florida commit David Connor saying that no defensive end in South Florida can stick with him. We can get into a little bit of that conversation a little bit in the show. Waiting for Chop to get on. Talk about this weekend, this glorious weekend of high school football that we have coming up. This Thursday and Friday, loaded slate of games. We got district championships. We got major matchups, big time rivalry games. I'm loving it. So let's start it off. Let's talk a little bit about last week. Obviously, it was one of those slower weeks in high school football. But let's speak a little bit on your guys' two games. Obviously, Western Coconut Creek was one of those better games of the week. So let's hear on that.
Again, Creek has a lot of weapons, pretty scrappy. I knew they wanted our heads because, there's a lot of kids I used to coach over there. Kids, but they're not a bad team, So I'm not going to bash them or say things. And they got
You can sit here and be political, but it was 23-0. You guys end the game early. They make some plays on the ball on defense, but offense did nothing. So speak on what are some of the things you guys did to
The problem is we
them
took them. We were
in the
playing
trip.
them boys. We started off slow because we were BSing all week and didn't take Creek serious. So I felt like we hurt ourselves because I don't even. I think we punted one time the whole game. We just making mistakes and stuff like that, and it was sloppy. It was a sloppy game for us for sure.
Pure domination heading into that 8A playoffs. Let's talk about Juwan. Juwan, you guys are a couple weeks in from a transition period, and you guys have looked good lately. You guys have had some solid results. That Columbus game didn't end how you guys wanted to, but it was a lot closer throughout that game than most people expected. You beat Norland, and now you guys go into a Carroll City game this week. How are you guys feeling about that?
Good. I think health-wise, I think we getting there from a defensive standpoint. I think offense sort of finding themselves as well. I mean, that transition, like you just said, was a little tough. So coming into it and just trying to find our stride and stay consistent is our biggest thing.
Gotcha. Well, let's jump into this loaded schedule this Friday. We lost Chop, but we'll get him back on. Let's start off with the game of the week. Chaminade versus Gulliver Prep. This is two of the top 5 teams in South Florida. Hold on, Chop's trying to jump back on. I don't know what happened there, but we lost you for a second.
Yeah, it was crazy.
So let's talk about that Chaminade Gulliver Prep game.
Duasso is a dick.
Yeah, Duasso is wilding right now. But let's talk about that Chaminade Gulliver Prep game. Loaded matchup. Power 5 kids across the field. Division 1 kids. It's going to be one of those. It's going to be one of those games that we're going to see a lot of kids on Saturdays and potentially some kids on Sundays playing in that game on Friday night. What's your guys' take on how that game is going to go?
I'm excited. I'll be there. a great matchup. I really want to see how good their offense is compared to Chaminad's defense. It's going to be it's a very exciting matchup, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I've never seen Gulliver play in person, so I don't know how good their defense is to be able to hang out with that front seven of Chaminade. And then this is a coming out party of JJ being there, so let's see how they use JJ. It's exciting, like I said, because I mean, Gulliver has been slapping people around and putting up numbers. So let's see, you know, from a standpoint of a most talented team, I think, down here in Chaminade. So let's see what goes on with that one for sure. I'm very excited about this game.
Yeah, I
think the
definitely.
pieces. Oh, go ahead, Frank.
Sorry, I just wanted to touch on. You definitely said Chaminade is that probably considered that top talented team in South Florida for their top 30 plus kids, right? But if you look at Gulliver Prep, they might be the most talented in regards to their top 22. You got Carson, Division I quarterback, Seth Irvin, Power 5 running back. You got 3 to 4 Division I receivers if you put Trey Lathman in that group, a West Virginia commit. They got a solid group on the offensive line that's been together for a long period of time. On the defense, you got Lamont Green, an FSU commit. You got a Princeton commit on the other end, and Makari Edwards. You got a potential Division I kid in Javon Only. You got 2 6'2", 6'3" corners on the outside that are going to go Power 5. They're loaded too. That's why I think this game is so exciting. So, what about you, Juwan? How you feeling about this?
I think the pieces are there for both sides. You got DBs on Chaminade's side. You got receivers on Gulliver's side. You got both running backs in the backfield. You got quarterbacks. I mean, so the pieces are there. It's just a matter of what's going to happen. What's going to happen. Who's going to show up? Who's going to play? I think that's going to be the exciting part.
And the kicker. That's right. Forgot the kicker. Kicker is committed to the University of Virginia. He's arguably the top kicker in the country. And then we got Samir Atassi on the other side, who's one of the top 2023 kickers in the country, 4-star kid. So this is a loaded matchup. I am so excited for this game. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be there. Juwan is going to be there in my place, letting me know how everything goes, updating everybody on the game. I'm excited. I'm excited to see how it goes. Let's get some predictions from you guys on this game. You guys are hesitating on this one, huh?
Yeah, you got friends, you know what I'm saying? But I think, it's my opinion, I think it's going to be like a 28-21. I think Chaminade takes it.
So you're going about the same spread I went, -6.5.
Oh, I didn't see your spread. I know you pay my spread, but Frank. Yeah, but like I said,
I'm going to go.
Chaminade wins. I mean, I think Gulliver's going to score points. I just think like I said, I've never seen their defense. I just don't know if they even stop Chaminade's offense.
What about you, Juwan?
I'm going to go over under about 48 points.
We didn't
put
ask
an over-under of 48, huh? Chopped it about the same thing. You guys are around over-under 50.
I think Chaminade take it, though. I think Chaminade take the game.
What's your spread?
I'm going to go 8 points. I'm going to go 8 points Chaminade.
So we're all around the same. Now, let me ask you this question. If Gulliver were to pull this game out, would you be shocked?
No, I wouldn't be shocked because I've never seen them play. But they've been winning. Like I said, they're winning to Killian. Like, I mean, they win it. Like, they're slapping people in the mouth. So I wouldn't be shocked. You got to make me a believer. That's all. Because I don't. Like I said, I've never seen them play. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah, I think that in past seasons, people have kind of slept on Gulliver, right? Just kind of waiting until they get to the playoffs just due to scheduling. This year, what do you think turned the corner for everybody's expectations of Gulliver Prep? It's
the last chance. It's the last chance for those seniors to show what they got. I mean, because we've seen it in the past where seniors sort of had a chance, but they don't take advantage of it. And I think with the way they've been scheduling this year, and we've been talking about it, the way they've been scheduling during the season, I think it's gonna help them in the playoffs and it's gonna get them prepared. And the seniors know this is the last go around, so they all in. They all in. I think you can tell by the way they playing and the way they scoring and the way they defense playing. So I mean, I just think they get it. So it's gonna be a good matchup against
They got
Chaminade.
What'd you say? I don't think anybody heard you.
I said they got good chemistry on offense. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But let's jump to that next game. And I think this is a game where people were a little upset that it wasn't game of the week. And that's Cardinal Gibbons versus St. Thomas Aquinas at FAU. They're putting this at a college stadium, potential sellout major stadium. We're looking at one of those big games. Last year it came down to the wire. What are you guys taking on this?
I didn't even know they played this week. That's wild.
Yeah, I knew they played. I like St. Thomas by
40?
14.
14?
Again, like I said, Gibbons, I thought was supposed to win last week. They did not pull it off. Against Heritage. I haven't seen them much. I hear about them, but I think St. Thomas is not losing. Last year got away. St. Thomas is not losing to people. Might even be worse than that later on, but 14, St. Thomas.
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
Wow.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go -2.5. I'm gonna go -2.5 for St. Thomas Aquinas. Listen, you guys continue to talk double-digit spreads. You guys
don't want your friends to say, "Coach Frank, what's going on, buddy?"
Oh, that's not it. That's not it. I think this game is similar to that Northwestern Central game. I think this game is similar to that Northwestern Central game. Big time rivalry. You got the two schools that hate each other to death. I think it's going to be a lot closer than people think. I think these are two really good defenses. I really love St. Thomas's offense and what they've been able to do this year. But yeah, I think that Gibbons' defense is still solid in that front seven. I think it's going to be closer than people think, especially in a neutral environment.
St. Thomas fans travel. All white doing the jumping around and stuff like that. So
You don't think Gibbons is going to pack it out? Yes, they are. It's going to be split between red and white, and then gold and navy.
Trust, man. They're going to slap the people around. Remember I told you this. And come back next week, you be like, chop, call that one.
Yeah, just like you called Northwestern Central. Listen, I think that this is a prove-it game for whoever's at quarterback for Cardinal Gibbons, whether that's Dylan Risk or that's Luke Warnock. Obviously, we've seen this year the quarterback position not play up to par comparative to the Brody Palhagis and the Nick Scalzos in the past. So we're going to have to – this is a prove-it game. I think this is a fork in the road for Cardinal Gibbons, depending on listen, this is another conversation for us to talk about. Who is the 4A favorite right now, right? Because I think going into the season, I think Cardinal Gibbons was a heavy 4A favorite. And now we're talking about Gulliver Prep on a higher stage than Cardinal Gibbons Chiefs.
Can I get my prediction for the St. Thomas game?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
10 points. St. Thomas.
Break
Okay,
it
now you
down
can
for
go.
us. Break it down for us.
I mean, I just think St. Thomas is going to show up. I don't know. I mean, my biggest question mark is the offense for Gibbons. Their quarterback issue. It has been the question for the season for them, and you know how St. Thomas coming each and every time. They're gonna be disciplined. They're gonna do their thing offensively. They're gonna run the ball. Zion's gonna throw the ball. As needed. So I mean, I just think they're gonna do enough. Not saying it won't be close, but I think they edge it out.
Yeah. Listen, I think that obviously that Camden Brown has stepped up in a huge way this year. I think he's earned every bit of respect in the South Florida circuit, right? I mean, he was a Palm Beach kid that came over, didn't play much last year, and he stepped up, made some huge catches against some of the best teams in South Florida this season. And obviously, look at Xavier Terrell, another kid who came over, comes down from IMG Academy, And I think everybody just kind of threw him away because of the Jordan Lyles and the Jamari Sands and the Anthony Hankersons. And the kid has made a huge impact. I think he's averaging almost 10 yards a carry. But if you look at the other side, you got Kamari Moulton's playing out of his mind right now. I mean, the kid, even against American Heritage, put up solid numbers on a week-to-week basis. He's over 100 yards. So I think they're very comparable for what each team brings to the table. Obviously, St. Thomas is the number one team in South Florida, pretty much unanimously, in everybody's rankings. So I think it's going to be a good game. I do think St. Thomas edges it out, but let's jump to that 4A conversation, right? So like I said, Gulliver is kind of seen as that upper tier team right now, and I think since that loss against American Heritage without Blake Murphy, Cardinal Gibbons has kind of taken a step down with their expectations. What are you guys looking into? How are you guys feeling about the 4A classification heading into the end of the season, going into the playoffs?
Tell you, juggernaut of fights, all kinds of. That's gonna be popcorn ready for sure. For sure. Got a lot of teams out there that are good. There's a variety of them. That 4A is a lot different. Is who's in Heritage District?
Well, their district doesn't really matter too much. It's more so getting into the playoffs. They're gonna have to play Killian. They're gonna have to play Central. Those are the teams in the 5A classification.
And that 4A too, you guys. Gulliver's in 4A, so is Gibbons. Who else is in 4A?
So it's Pace. So it was a little bit better at the beginning of the year. It was Pace, Carroll City, Booker T. But you're going to see Jacksonville Bulls probably in the near the state championship game. You got Coco, who's looking for some redemption after losing by 40 last year. Yeah, so I mean, really, it's whoever comes out of South Florida.
Playoffs.
Yeah.
Great.
But what about you, Juwan? How are you feeling about this 4A classification? I mean, you're deep in it, right? You've looked into a lot of these teams' film. You know what's going on in the 4A classification. How are you feeling about who's really the leader in the clubhouse?
I mean, right now,
Gibbons is the reigning champion. So I mean, at the end of the day, they played a tough Heritage game. That's always going to be a big game, a rival game. They got a stretch of St. Thomas. They got Venice coming up. So you really can't just give the torch to anybody else right now because, we still in the thick of the season. And then you look at Gulliver, they changed their season up. They got a tougher schedule than years before, but you just can't give it to them because the playoffs is their hurdle. So you got to wait out everything, and nobody in the playoffs besides Gibbons and Gulliver Ben and Booker T's been in the past. So it's really up in the air. You just got to give it to Gibbons because they did it. They did it already.
Yeah. Well, we got a guy who's familiar with Gulliver Prep. He's one of the key architects of the buildup of Gulliver Prep, and that's Coach Eddie Alford, the offensive coordinator over at Miami Northwestern. He's done an excellent job this year since having a full off season, putting together a excellent season for Miami Northwestern. Started off a little slow, and things have really turned it up over the course of the season. Obviously, the IMG game is a simple hiccup for pretty much everybody, but other than that, you've put up big numbers this year. Tiger is doing his thing. You made that Miami Central game an absolute classic. What's your take on this 4A classification between, what is really a battle between Cardinal Gibbons and Gulliver Prep?
Well, I'll say this. I mean, they got good kids. They got a lot of snaps in between them. So when you guys talk about winning losses, you got to look at kids who have a lot of snaps under their shoulder pads. So we saw CJ and Sid and Jalen Brown and Carson. They got a lot of snaps under them, but Chaminade do as well. So I think you're going to get a heavyweight fight. I think special teams is going to be a key. Turnovers are going to be a key. I think because the Chaminade's having a great year and well-deserved, I think people kind of thinking Gulliver's a little soft. And I think that's been the issue with them coming in a whole lot. But they're tough, man. They're tough. Those kids are gonna play tough. And I think you're gonna have a heavyweight classic fight. I'm gonna go way out in the end because I can't never put my guys down. And I'm gonna go with Gulliver by 6 for the upset. I'm gonna go with my guys.
Is it an
100%.
upset?
I'm
That's
going
what I'm trying to get at.
27-21
Is it
for
an
the money.
upset right now? Is that
Yeah,
an
I'm going
upset
with it.
right now?
I'm going with it because you know what? Those guys have
Yes,
been playing
Frank.
a lot of minutes, and I love them. And I'm going with them 27-21. I think 2 field goals are going to win it. Will Bethers, the one more kicker in the world. I call him the world because that kid is great. But I think both teams come out of this better for the playoffs, and that's real. I think Gulliver's going to come out of here a lot prepared for Gibbons. And I think Chaminade is going to see Gulliver, and they're going to give him a passing game they kind of need going into the playoffs. So, got a classic battle. I think that's what South Florida football is about. So, I love Damon Jones and what he's doing. And obviously, Earl Sims is one of the best men I know. Forget coaching. He's one of the best men I know. So, man, if you can get there, I'm gonna try to get there. We play tomorrow, so I'm definitely gonna try to get there and see what's going on. But man, if Gulliver can handle their front, because Chaminade may have the best front in the state.
Maybe
By
the
far.
country. Maybe the country.
Maybe. I haven't seen the country, but man, hey, listen, they make you right home for mama. So it's gonna be a great game, and I think that's what South Florida football is about. Now, you know what I want to say that I enjoyed the show. I watched my guy cooking on there, and I didn't inbox me. He still won't send me no recipes. But I enjoy the show. I really do. I enjoy what you guys do, man, and you bring an insight to guys, these kids, and, they're doing a wonderful job. But the Chambers show is who I got to get on because they let me on here. They say we was going to get our butt blew out against Central, and we didn't quite get blew out. So we fought a little bit. And they made my quarterback say he was going to be a
You're holding
Cub.
back right now. You're holding back. Listen, I know we're like 10 days removed from their.
Well, we're 10 days prepared to go back at it again.
Hey,
Hey,
Coach,
play again.
you got the freedom of speech, Coach. Go ahead, Coach.
Let's hear it, bro.
Listen. When the Sugar Ray Leonard and they fight, when you talk about Deontay Wilder, it's no point spread. Those kids know each other, and they're gonna fight to the end. I think it's gonna be another headbanger. I hope everybody could come out safe going into playoffs. But man, it was a great game to be a part of, especially for me for the first time. It was a great game. To be a part of. But the Chambers put us out there and put my quarterback out there like he was gonna be a Cub. And Tiger took that personally. He's a winner. Everybody knows him. He's a winner. Man, my guy, he argues with me every day about sling it all day. But we'll be there and we'll see him again. And I hope the Chamber get it right this time.
Play Central again?
Yeah,
the
GMAC
GMAC.
championship.
Yeah. So tell me, 'cause I don't know. I'd be hearing about the GMAC. What is that?
So it's this new
All right.
championship system.
I hope I don't get fired like John Gruden, but let me say it.
Let's hear it.
It's a moneymaker.
Yeah.
It's terrible to have it in week 10.
Yeah.
I think it should have been in the kickoff classic. I think it's bogus. I don't think it's great. But hey, the kids got to show up and play. All right.
What's the meaning?
So, what you got?
What's the meaning?
I just don't think it's good. I don't think it's good for a week 10 game.
I'm a big fan of that. There's no meaning to it. Y'all had the game already. So
Right.
I'm asking, what's the meaning of this game now? Why are we?
I don't know. Besides money, because you're going to get the best matchups in week 10, right?
Yeah.
No school is getting any money, as far as I know. Okay. I'm not an administrator. I'm a humble coach. But it don't make any sense to me. But I'll tell you this, man. Just being involved with that Miami Central, Miami Northwestern game, wow.
It's different.
I don't know if it's anything like it in the country.
Now I say it's different.
It's different.
Yeah.
It's 5 mics, not 2.
That atmosphere, I tell people can't handle that. Like that Mecca is
about that game. Like,
if you can't dance on the big stage,
yeah. Everybody
don't play in the game.
like,
Hey, I think and that game got everything. We got coaches ejections. We got knockouts. We got gun scares. We got a
Everybody had to lay down.
We got a came down
I'm gonna
to
say
the
this.
wire.
I think the gun scare made some bad calls in the end of the game where we could have went to overtime. That's all I'm gonna say. I think the referees want to get out of it.
So, are we gonna get a prediction for the GMAC championship?
Northwestern wins.
Woohoo!
go ahead, coach.
I love it,
Go
boy.
ahead, coach.
I love it.
Hey, go
I
ahead.
love my guys. I lay down to sleep with them. They're my guys.
That's real. I love it. I love it.
Hey, we here. And you listen to what I respect them. But we here. We ready to play football.
Yours. You gotta love yours.
Yeah. I mean, Coach, we had a shot. And they won it. And I take nothing from them. But the West is the West. That's how we won the West.
So, what do you think about the take? See, the big conversation at the end of that game was the ghosts of the Mecca are all for Miami Northwestern. What's your take on that?
The ghosts of the Mecca?
The ghosts of the Mecca are pro Miami Northwestern. That Central can't ever get a break.
You create breaks. You create breaks. And you guys know that. You guys know that. I mean, I'm new in the rivalry. So I was here last year and I came in kind of late in the series and a great coaching staff, and you throw everything out the window when you talking about Northwestern Central. Stats, who's a 5-star, who's a 4-star, who ran this and why you ran it. You throw all that out the window. These kids know each other. It may look good on paper, but guess what? That kid know he's soft. It's not going to work.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the great part about the Northwestern Central rivalry. I was a Miami Killian graduate, so I played in the back in the day where you had Killian Southridge. We didn't have the bands, but we did have the Orange Bowl sellouts, right? So when you get in those big games, man, these kids know each other. They already know what it is. But I love my guys. I think they work their butt off. I think it's going to be another classic. And I think we're going to make each other better going into the playoffs. I think Central's a great program.
Game, like, I'm like, we're just getting comfort. This is the first time they doing something like this. Like, this is like a shock to me. Like,
nah, they taking advantage of us.
yeah, but like I said, that game is not a regular game.
No. How could you make us play again? But
People get
Hey,
hurt.
Columbus Palmetto are all they're gonna have to play again as well.
they may play 4 times. If they play, 3 times. If they play again in a GMAC game, they may play in the playoffs again.
That's incredible.
That's terrible.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
So who else is playing? Them two, y'all two. Who else?
Oh, it's gonna be like
Right now, I
17
haven't
games.
seen it all. I'm thinking, who was it? Who was it?
It was like 17 games. It's not just the championship games because they're lining. The GMAC is taking over the Dade County last week of the season. So they are, even the teams that are the worst, right? The worst, they are going to match up with each other, right? So it's kind of crazy. And I'll send you guys the bracket, I guess you could call it. But yeah, it's definitely weird. I've never seen anything like it before. It's similar to kind of what they did last year for COVID.
Right.
Is that how it started?
Huh?
Is that how it started?
No, I was just saying right. Go ahead, my bad.
No, I think that the GMAC kind of saw an opportunity after COVID last year, where they did the Tri-County Championship and probably made a little bit of money, to kind of put something together in the last week. And honestly, it's terrible that you guys are gonna have to play a team that you probably wouldn't have played in the week 10 of last year. But it kind of messed up scheduling for everybody in a way.
It throws you off because you can't schedule that week.
And not even just that, like you had to push games up, right? So, like when you might have put, one of those softer games on the schedule in week 11, right?
Right.
You could have put one of those bigger games, at the beginning of the year, like.
All the misses, you're going in the playoffs and you're playing others.
Absolutely. Guys can get banged up.
People get hurt in that game. That's my problem.
That's what I'm saying right there.
Put down bench warmers. I mean, you put down the second string.
Yeah.
That no matter what, because like you said, it's for the community wise, this is huge for the Miami Northwestern Central rival. So like they can't just say we don't care about this win. That's huge for them. It's like bragging rights for the streets. It's bragging rights for the city. It's everything for the school, the
That's
alumni.
big.
It's huge. That's why I'm saying that game is like I heard it was happening, but I didn't believe it. I was like, no, they're not playing again.
And the shitty
Well,
part,
the thing about it is, you still at the end of the day, whether you win or lose, you want to win state championships, right? I mean, Central lost to Northwestern last year, but they won the state championship, right? That's what people want to do. At the end of the day, you want to be the last team standing in your division. So I said this, and I knock on wood, and I hope it doesn't happen. But we go through this, there may be a team that loses a star player or an important player.
I'm saying like that people get hurt in that game.
It happens. I mean, if you'd have saw the Miami Central Northwestern game, one of the most physical games I've ever seen in my life.
guys getting slept. It just.
I mean, in my line, it was, I mean, penalties for good football play. I hate to say it. And I want to give a shout out to their staff. They do a great job. And when you talk about Miami Central, Miami Northwestern, it's friends looking at each other. You talking about the same staffs, identity. They do a great job. We do a great job, and they all coach together. You know what I mean? And
we're gonna have some of y'all coaching together in the Dave versus Broward game. Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, but that's the beauty of it, right? That is the beauty of it. Good men mentoring kids. And I said that to those guys when we lost. But as a competitor, I wouldn't mind having it one more time.
Yeah, that's the position that you guys are put in because you guys can't play backups in that game. It's too a prestigious. It's a prestigious matchup that you can't shy away from. Because if you play that game, you have to play that game balls to the wall. It's got to be part two. It's got to be part two. That's really what it has to be. So I'm excited for it. I understand it's not exactly what you guys are looking for, but I think everybody's excited for it. Especially end of the year, you're probably going to get some coaching staffs. Hope that their game is on a Thursday or if they don't have a game at all. And there's going to be a lot of people heading to that game, especially after the hype of that first game and the finish of that first game. So I appreciate you coming on tonight, Coach.
Appreciate you. Guys, I appreciate you guys for all you do.
Hey, good luck, man. Good luck, Coach.
I appreciate you guys.
Rest in peace.
Coach.
Yes, sir.
Coach Eddie Alford. That's one of the best offensive minds in South Florida, in my opinion. He's done an excellent job. The transition from Tiger last year to Tiger this year, not saying that the kid's ever played bad, but, I mean, you look at what that kid has transitioned to and his numbers day and night. And you got to give a lot of credit to Coach Eddie Alford for that game. Now let's jump to the next game that I think at the beginning of the year people probably wouldn't have think it would be a hype matchup, and that is Homestead versus the Doral Academy at the Doral. The Doral is still undefeated. We talked a few weeks back how this could be a big game if the Doral keeps it going. This is a district championship game. This is a game for seeding in the 7A playoffs. You think Homestead takes it, or do you think the Doral's wing T scheme is a little too much?
Man, I haven't seen Homestead. I keep telling you, I want to see something on them. But what's crazy is hearing the Doral Academy is what? Like what? I gotta take Homestead just because off of the GP of like I know Homestead got players and like I lose to the Doral though. I just know there's no way. But it's like I said, no offense. I know nothing about the Doral, but I'm like, it's like these teams that my son's team is playing. I'm like, Jupiter Christian. Oh, they got a football team. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know Doral had a football team.
Bro, come on, bro. They were pretty good. They had Jay Stewart as their head coach for a little bit. Mike Tunsil was over there, I think, as well. They had some things going on there. They had before Khalil Brantley and Tim Burns were at Northwestern. They were Doral Academy Firebirds. So they've had some kids in the past, and they're kind of back. Like I said, they got that wing T scheme that is working right now. Granted, the schedule hasn't been a gauntlet by any stretch of the imagination, but they're playing well. Go on. What's your take on this game?
I mean, I'm gonna go with Homestead. I don't know if Doral played it. This gonna be their toughest opponent on the schedule.
That is Doral's toughest game on the schedule, and that's probably Homestead's toughest game going forward until they get to the playoffs.
Yeah, I think Homestead got some weapons over there. Homestead, I mean, Doral gonna run. They gonna do their thing. They gonna run their offense. They gonna, call their stuff, and I think they'll do good enough to just come out and keep that game close.
Yeah, I think it's gonna start off solid, right? I mean, once you have a run game, in a tougher scheme to game plan for, I think that it slows the game down, right? I think that Homestead probably is a more talented team in regards to Division I talent and the notable guys in South Florida. Richard Danger's of the world, David Jester's of the world, Isaac Brown, a Division I running back. They got a quarterback that's a 2-year starter now. So, they got the combo defensive linemen that have done numbers over the last few years. I think it's going to be a solid game starting off, and I think just athletes are going to be athletes, and I think down the line they're going to take over. I'm going to probably put a prediction of minus 16.5 on that game. Minus 16.5 is what I'm feeling. What about you guys?
I'll say about 14.
I would say, I guess I'll go with your pick. I told you I don't know much about it. I know Homestead got some boys that are ready to play some ball down there. And they're always pretty well coached and good to go. So that's why I said no shade at Doral, man. I just be like, we're talking about Doral here, like, bro, like, make me a believer though, You know what I'm saying? So
I think it's kind of the same, not the same. It's like a poor man's version of the conversation we've had with Gulliver, right? Gulliver, they go through a soft schedule. They were going through a soft schedule, and until you beat the big dog, right, then the conversation changes. Right, Gulliver's knocked down some heavy hitters this year, so the respect is given. So I think if Doral Academy takes this game, I think that puts them in the top 15, easy. Yeah. So, but let's jump to the next one. This is a big matchup. I think it's going to be a little bit more lopsided than people think, and that's Edison versus Miami Central. At Miami Central, I believe. I think it's going to be at Traz. I mean, you got some ball players on both sides of the field.
Yeah, Central.
Huh?
Central versus who?
Miami Edison.
Okay, I'll make it straight.
So we got Ray. We got Little Briscoe. We got Francois Knowlton on the Edison side. Leon Hart, Elijah McCantos. You got those big names. You got that core bunch for Edison going up against a Central team that might be without Dredd, their quarterback, due to getting knocked out at the end of that Miami Northwestern game. And I don't know if Lights Out's going to be back this week. I don't think we've seen him yet. So, you don't necessarily know what's going to be given to us from the quarterback position, but they got 4 or 5 running backs that can tote the rock. Zay Reese is another week healthier. You're going to have Lamar Seymour who's having that breakout season that everybody's kind of been waiting for. Obviously on the defensive side of the ball, you got the names of names for Miami Central. It's Power 5 guy, Power 5 guy, Power 5 guy, Power 5 guy. So what's your guys' take on this one? And also look at last year was 14-0 at halftime. That was with Amari. That was with Ewell. So let's look at it that way as well.
Again, Edison putting some good games together with some teams. So they're a lot better, and they got some dogs. Like I said, the Ray, Briscoe. Yep, they got some boys. They're a really good team. Now, again, Central is very physical. And we all know that the West rises up for that because that's the crosstown rival for years and years and years. I just don't know if Edison will be able to fight with them. You know what I'm saying? Edison before the game, everybody got to talking. Yeah, I want to. Everybody does all that. But when it's time to go, ain't no more talking. You got to hit. You know what I'm saying? and people smack, like you said, you're at the game personally, you see people getting their head knocked off, all kinds of wild stuff, and it doesn't fade Northwestern or Central. This is one of the topics I had with now that Heritage has a losing record. They're going to have to go to Dade County in the Mecca and play at the Miami team in the Mecca. Everybody ain't built to be down there doing that in that. Different beat. Different beat. You know what I'm saying? So again, I don't know if Edison's ready for that. So I'll take Central by 14.
Yeah, same. I got something about 14. Yeah, I don't think. I don't know if Edison got enough juice. Central's defense been rolling. Edison been playing some good ball too. Edison been playing some good ball. I want to see Ray against his defense. I want to see how he's done a lot for that offense, and I just know that defense is gonna know if we keep Ray in check, it's gonna be a short game. So I think that's gonna be a good matchup for Ray. He's gonna get battle tested a little bit. But I think Cent win by 14.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna go minus 20.5 on this game. I'm gonna go 3 scores. I'm going 3 scores. I think that Edison hasn't proven that they can get the ball consistently in the passing game to Nathaniel Ray Joseph, who I consider one of the best players in South Florida. British Mitchell, another kid. The passing game has to prove it against big time competition, right? I got to see it on a big stage at the Mecca, right, against one of those top teams, which Miami Central is. Last year, 0 points against Miami Central, with a more proven quarterback in Keith Moore. So I think Edison's defense is gonna play solid, starting off the game. But I think the John Harris of the world, the Ghana Obos, the Ian Popes, and then obviously in the comments we're seeing Dylan Dread Tolik, since they want me to say his full government, is going to be playing in this game. They're going to have a quarterback back there slinging the rock a little bit. They got weapons on the outside. I know Elijah McCantos is one of those solid players, potentially going to the Illinois of the world and being a Power 5 kid. Do they have enough at defensive back to stop all those kids? We've seen Zay Reese do it on a big stage. We've seen Lamar Seymour do it on a big stage. We've seen Trent Henry do it on a big stage, right? We've seen all these kids step up in big-time games at the Mecca. We got to see if Edison could do that. And I don't think that Miami Central is going to shy away from anything. I don't think they're going to sleep on this team. I think this is a statement game for them. And I think, we've seen them, try to put up big points on teams in the past few weeks, other than Northwestern. So I think this is going to be a 3-score game. I think there's going to be a lot of emotion in this game, just because you know how Uncle Luke brings things to the table, and you know how Central staff doesn't play around. So yeah, I think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be that close. Let's jump to the one of the. There's other than that, the games are kind of saturated a little bit. We're looking at Western versus who this week?
We're playing Taravella.
Taravella?
Yeah, man.
What should the spread be on that game this week?
42, man. It's not going to be close. Next time.
We got Miami Carroll City versus Pace this week.
Now that is a game.
That is a game.
That is a game.
How are you feeling about that, Mr. Robert Ortega?
Listen. Okay, so look, this is gonna be a game. I like Pace though. I do think Pace wins this game. All right, this is a statement game because Carroll City, people keep talking about them. They're not the same Carroll City no more. You hear so much blog talk about them and what's going on. So they're gonna try to make a statement on Pace. And Pace is also trying to build a statement within their new staff, their new head coach, their new leadership, because the new leadership is in trying to become the new leader for the future as well. So, big game, crosstown, not too far from each other. Again, I like Pace. I'm just going to say I like Pace by 7. Keep it close, but I think Pace takes care of business. The defensive coordinator is going to draw some plays up. I'm going to help him out, tighten him up. He's a little young guy. Nah. But, hey, business. Handle business, coach. Handle business. Take it to business.
I think this is one of those games where we've seen two teams that have struggled this year, right? Especially on the offensive side of the ball. Carroll City, with a solid quarterback, we haven't seen them put up the numbers that we think they probably should have, right? They always have athletes at receiver, and they still do. DeAndre Tamares is one of the fastest kids on the football field in South Florida. They got two brothers over there that are pretty good, so they got some talent. I think this is going to be pace -3. Pace -3. I think the two defensive coordinators are of the best in South Florida, and I'm not just saying that because Juwan's my boy. The head coach over there, Carroll City, does an excellent job. He's actually the Dade Bruce Broward defensive coordinator for the Dade side. I think Deshaun Trowers is probably going to be a little too much to handle for the trenches of Carroll City. There's still some talent on the offensive side of the ball as well for pace. This is a comeback game for RJ McAdoo, who's a receiver for Monsignor Pace, who's actually put up some solid numbers, since there's been some transition over there at Pace. Smoke is one of those up-and-coming 2023 receivers who's a solid player. I think he could put up some numbers in this game. I think that there's going to be some big plays here and there for both sides, but I think overall defenses are going to play this one tough. Shamar Stewart needs to come out and have a big game. I think he probably does. It's going to be a nice matchup between him and Keon Reyes. I think that linebacker core for Pace is pretty good comparative to pretty much anybody in South Florida. You got Gabe Herrera, you got Makai, you got Vincent Shavers, 2024 star. You got some guys that are starting to play well in the secondary for Pace as well. I think Pace takes this one. Obviously, I'm not going to force you to give a prediction unless you want to, Mr. Juwan Dallas. I got you.
Yes. It's your chamber. You belong in the chamber. No, it isn't.
What does the chamber mean?
Huh? I just wanted to make fun of you going to your boy.
Oh, I'm like, what the fuck that came from? What was that?
It's all good.
So another game that is a little intriguing to me. A little intriguing is North Miami Beach versus Booker T. Washington. Booker T. is not the same Booker T. that we've seen, but we've still seen them, play up to standard against teams like Miami Northwestern. They've put up some numbers against other teams. North Miami Beach went up to Georgia and played one of the top teams in Georgia, and they put up like 50-something points. So obviously the offense is there. I'm gonna – oh, man, this is a Thursday game, a little bit weird.
You said a little bit weird.
A little bit weird. I'm going with the upset. North Miami Beach -2.5. I'm giving North Miami Beach the edge. I think that the coaching staff over there at North Miami Beach is of the best in South Florida. Not taking anything away from Booker T, but when you have a coach who's been at the same school for like 25 years, and he has guys playing both ways. Do you know that this team, you're not allowed to wear any numbers from like 80 to 99? If you're a lineman, you wear 50 to 79. If you're a skill position, you wear like 1 to 49 or some shit like that. So I think that the system that they have over there, they're going to be tough. I think that they got some Power 5 talent over there that's just going to be it's going to be tough for Booker T to overcome. And I think that Booker T has kind of struggled in those tougher games this year. So I'm taking North Miami Beach on Thursday night.
I think Miami Beach. How many points? I just think they're going to win.
Who?
Find a way to win.
Booker T?
No, not Booker T. Booker T down, man. Like I said, they played in the West, and we gave them all this hype. You know what I'm saying? Like, they played them tight. It was close, and now it's like what we all thought. They're not the same that they always are. They've been powerful, amazing team, but they're just not the same. So I think Miami Beach is their year to make some noise.
Oh, Philip Dunham is one of my favorite players in South Florida. Beyond Reality just commented his name underneath. He's an Indiana commit. I think the kid has like 13 or 14 touchdowns this year. 2 separate occasions, I think he had 4 touchdowns against really good competition. The kid is a monster, whether it's at free safety, corner, or receiver. I think he's going to be that game changer in this game. Juwan,
I'm gonna go Booker T. I'm gonna go Booker T. Go on the other side, go Booker T, and it'll definitely be a good game. Um, yeah, I'm gonna go Booker T on it. They shown times where they can play. They shown times where they just just look defeated. But I think this might be a game they're gonna be up for.
What's your prediction?
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go 6. Booker T.
You going with -6?
Yeah, maybe like
Okay.
like a 12-6 game. 18-12. Something like that.
Okay. Let's talk about another game. Not a lot of backstory with this game, but Dave Christian's going to play Bainbridge. I think that's a team in Georgia. They're like 3-3 right now. Kind of those middle of the road teams in Georgia. Probably going to be well coached just because we know how Georgia is. Dave Christian came off a 51-7 victory last week. Are we seeing them turn the tide a little bit going into the two-way playoffs, or are we going to see them go back to the old Dave Christian ways where they play one of those teams that aren't,
Who's in their district?
Well, there's no districts in the lower classifications. It's strictly points. So they got Champagnat, and then obviously whoever wins that battle is Avant-Garde, Champagnat, and then
I know, but I heard right now there's only 6 teams that go in the 2A bracket, correct?
8.
And I heard that Dave Christian's not in it right now.
I don't think that they are. I think they need to go 3-1 to finish out the year. I think they got one more tough game against Edison. But yeah, I think they need to go 3-1 to get into the into the playoffs. So do you think that they?
Hey, only 6 teams. What I'm saying, look, Enio put it at the bottom. Only 6 teams going there.
Okay, so Dave Christian is 6 right now.
He's gonna go online.
So
he looks at all that stuff nonstop.
So does Dave Christian pull it out and get into that playoff bracket?
Dang, so they would play Avant. I'm sorry. I think Enio, what's your ranking right now? What's Champagnat's ranking? This whole point thing is so confusing to me. I swear to you, I never get it.
The RPI is nuts. Do you know that Miami Beach? Do you know Miami Beach was in the playoffs before this week? They got blown out by Crop.
You know what I'm saying? Look, Champagnat's 4. That's crazy. Like, I don't get it, man. Like, it's just so hard to understand it and rankings. So, like I was explaining to one of my friends, I was like, I think it's going to hurt Champagnat that they didn't play Chaminade. Win, lose, or draw, you get points because Chaminade's that good. Power, strength, of schedule, and all stuff like that. So they get no points, 0 instead of none. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's why they're 4th, why it hurts them.
Yeah.
So that's why it's just a tough.
So what's your guys' predictions for this Bainbridge Dave Christian game? Do you think Coach Coleman and crew pull it out, or are we looking at
Go Florida, baby? Coleman, take care of business, man. Handle up. I'm going with the boys. I'm going with Dade County boys. Dave Christian, Big Stubbs. Take care of business, baby.
What about you, Juwan?
Yeah, home team, man. I think they, hopefully they found their stride on offense, and I know Coleman gonna come strong defensively. I don't know who Bainbridge is, but they ain't play no Florida speed, so just don't kick it to dirty.
The brackets come out. I mean, the power rankings go out every Wednesday.
Yep. So I will be on Varsity Sports Network on Wednesday to go over the RPI and the bigger classifications. If you guys want to watch, it's gonna be a live stream. I'll tweet out the link. I'll put it on Instagram. If you guys want to take a look, they'll show us the rank. We'll go through the rankings. We'll go through the where everybody's at in the classifications from 5A up, and I think we'll try to touch on 4A and 3A. But other than that, yeah, we're going to touch on 8A, 7A, 6A, and 5A, the big classifications with districts. So if you guys want to tune in, that'll kind of give you a little bit of insight on how things are shaking out in those classifications.
Oh.
All right. Well, anything else you guys want to touch on before we jump off?
Jay recruiting put me on Will. In jail ever since. I don't get that. What's Jay Wimbo saying?
He's talking stupid. He's talking stupid right now. But
All
right.
I will say this, man. Hey, man, good luck to that game on Friday night. Big clash of the Titans. As far as Gulliver Prep and Chaminade, I'll be there live in color. My game's on Thursday, so I got to go watch that game.
You should be at St. Thomas Cardinal Gibbons as well on Saturday.
I probably might show up to that. I might.
At FAU. That's kind of an environment that can't miss. If I did not have a fucking wedding that I had to go to this week, I would be at Homestead Doral. I would be at Champagnac Gulliver.
What's up, D?
I would definitely be at St. Thomas Cardinal Gibbons. But it's gonna be a good week. It's gonna be a good week. I'm excited
Who
for
does
it.
Champagnac play this week?
They play Benjamin. You guys want to touch on that?
Real quick, bro. My phone's gonna die
Champagnac
in a
by
minute.
14. Champagnac by 14.
Okay, that's all we need to hear. All right.
Champagnac by 14.
I'll see y'all next
I love
week.
Tyler. I think Tyler Ronson's a very good quarterback. I think that they have under-delivered in the bigger games, and I think this is a bigger game. I mean, Champagnac is still one of those top teams in South Florida. They're in my top 15, and I think that they take that game minus 14. So,
Juwan, handle up, baby. Good luck, baby. Handle business.
all right, boys.
All right,
See you next week.